was anticlimactic.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Happy 2019. Is the stream? We're live. I think we're live. I'm gonna open up the
We are
page.
live?
Wonderful.
We are, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're live.
5 people watching right now. Hey everybody, Thundercat or TV. Sorry to keep you guys waiting, but we were experiencing some technical difficulties. Let's just get down to brass tacks. I am here with Stealthabotte, who is just the stellar co-writer and of the Ant-Man Irredeemable, as well as Moose the creator. So if you guys want to say hi.
Hola.
Yeah, and
Hello.
basically
Hello there.
we're gonna be hello there. We're gonna be talking about future projects as well as what's in store for 2019, because as you all know, 2018 was a pretty dope year for Project 422 films, from a brand new episode of Captain America the Super Soldier a brand new episode of Captain America the Super Soldier, as well as a few other, director's cut. We did all these crazy streams from, from the Milkman and all that other crazy stuff that was really fun about that year. But here we are. Let's see. Let's read some of the. I should probably bring up the live chat. That might be helpful. Good to see. There we are. Questions. Finally, I
Do we establish that this is Do we establish that this is an ask us pretty much anything kind of stream too?
I think
or?
the title speaks for itself. So. But there we go. There we go. You can ask us anything during this stream, from feature animations, all things comic book and movies and TV shows and action figures alike, future animations that we have in store. I'm pretty sure we have a couple of ideas. I know Moose has the Civil War stuff, and you can check out his Instagram page for stuff on that, as well as Stealthabotte and his projects that I don't know if we're going to be touching on.
What projects? What are you talking about, projects?
Whoops.
I'm too busy slaving myself trying to make yours to do any of mine.
Wow. Make me feel bad.
It's a joke. It's a joke, everybody. It's a joke. Oh, relax.
Yeah.
We're good.
Can't take back the love that I gave you. Something, don't know the words. That's... Okay. Okay, so we have a question from Thundercat already. So, how are you, stuff?
Oh, am I?
Yeah. He's asking how you are specifically, because he didn't take into consideration how Moose and I were. So.
Well, thank you for asking how I'm doing. I greatly appreciate that. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm looking forward to this awesome stream with these awesome people, and we're thriving.
100%. Cough, cough, Ant-Man Irredeemable. Thundercat, we will touch on Ant-Man Irredeemable as soon as you ask questions about it. Or TV is just the laughing, crying emoji.
How is Ant-Man Irredeemable? So there's going to be this big character death, and it's going to be really huge, and we're working on the music, the soundtrack. It's going to be big.
It's gonna be pretty awesome. We're gonna have Rick Astley sing too.
It's gonna be a really sad cover of "Never Gonna Give You Up."
That's actually a brilliant idea.
Don't give me any ideas.
Oh yeah, how are you, Danny and Moose? I'll let Moose go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm doing great. Personally, been doing pretty well. Just been focusing on scripts and personal life. Also, Civil War is going well. I probably have some other side projects I want to get out, but yeah, I have, for the most part, have been doing well and just coming up with concepts and ideas.
Awesome. Great. I have been doing swell, actually. For the past 2 weeks, I've been on the holiday vacation, so to speak, because of Christmas and New Year. I am back to schools Monday, but so far I've been living the dream. Been writing been writing Guardians of the Galaxy Strange Mix Volume 1, which I hope I can start production on soon. I mean, I have a lot of projects I'm trying to balance, but the primary ones are the Batman and some of the Marvel stuff. But writing on those projects couldn't hurt. So Black Panther as well, Rise of the Black Panther, which is another project that I announced a month ago, and I'm pretty excited about that. So that's what's up. Okay, here we go. Time to take over with questions. Indeed, Thundercat, as the master you are with sending us your fantastic questions.
He's been like our consistent MVP every single stream for the most part. He's like, we have some really awesome fans, but like every time I see Thundercat's name, it's like, yes, we're in for some really cool stuff.
Yep. All right, this question is from Moose. How far are you into the production process for Civil War?
That's a good question. A lot of people have asked me that. Considering it'll be like going on, maybe it's 2 years, but now probably going on 3 years now. But first episode is I would say about 90% finished, and episode 2 is I would probably say 50%. But I've mostly put all my work onto episode 1, and episode 2 is it's gonna be the longest one out of the 3 episodes. It's just gonna be 3 episodes long, in case nobody didn't know, or 3 parts long, but I call them episodes or whatever. But then I probably want to move on to other projects that I can't talk about. But also projects that I would like to talk about is the one I really want to work on is Kratos versus Hellboy.
Ooh.
And that's I really would like to. I like to do a lot of cool ideas and try to mix stuff up, But yeah, like Kratos versus Hellboy. It took me. I had to go back and after playing the new God of War that came out last year. Like, man, that game was awesome. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I revisited the Hellboy movies and the comics, and I thought, I don't know, I just saw those two mesh together, and I think the idea I have spewing out is gonna work well. And I hope whenever it comes out that people like it. And another project, I guess I'll go to real quick, is just a Sin City project. That's all I'll say.
Wow.
Damn, amazing. Look at all of that content.
All hands. Yeah. I mean, forget the Hellboy movie. We need a Kratos movie.
It'll probably happen.
Video game movies don't turn out so good.
Oh, yeah. True. That's true.
They don't feel so good. And then they disappear along with the color blue. Oh, no, that's dead.
Wow. Thundercat is fire with these questions.
He's got so many.
All right, Stealthabotte. Have you been challenged with a voice role before? Has a certain role you had ever been difficult to do?
Well, I'm gonna try and not make this answer super duper long, but yeah, short story kind of made longer. As a theater actor first, as that kind of founded my love for acting, and then eventually doing voice impressions and stuff, being the nerd that I am. There have been a lot of roles that I've had to do over the years, and some of them have been a lot easier, but there have been several that have been incredibly daunting, incredibly challenging for a variety of reasons. The voice is one of those kind of voices where you have to have, where you have to be in a certain mindset, or you have to be in your voice has to be in a certain, it's weird to describe, but you have to have a certain voice that day, kind of like morning voice sometimes, or sometimes you have to have a deeper voice or a higher voice, and it depends on the time of day, depends on what you've had to eat or drink, a bunch of different factors like that. Also, there are roles that can just be really painful to do if you're not careful. And if you have to do a lot of lines back to back, and if you have to do multiple characters in one recording session, which I've had to do, on several occasions, especially lately. I've had to voice several characters and get lines in really quickly. So trying to meet the deadlines and trying to do all these different difficult voices, it's more or less just the taxing it can take on your vocal cords at the end of the day. Just having a completely voice cracky, totally shot voice after just committing to doing a lot of voice work.
No, I understand completely what you mean because I voice act a little bit. And I know I've done some voices that really just, took in a lot out of me,
It can be really, really tough. Like, Daniel can attest to the fact that there have been times where he's like, yo, you want to get on Discord or you want to do, want to talk? I'm like, sure. And then we get on the chat and my voice is just like, out there and it's kind of doesn't go on. I sound like the personification of death. I just sound like...
It's not fun, and I'm glad that makes me glad I don't do voice acting because
when you do Korg, we'll make you do Korg one day. I tried to make you do voice acting. I tried. It didn't work out so good.
It sure didn't. But for speaking of Korg, I was actually planning out a 2018 Project422 Films channel recap with Korg, and that didn't really work out because I didn't know I was going to pull it off. I already recorded the voiceover for it.
It was so funny.
It was hilarious. But hopefully one day we'll have 2019 recap if there's anything spectacular. I have no doubt.
If you actually release Irredeemable.
No doubt. This is spectacular for the channel.
You will not let that down, will you?
Hey, never mind. That was a terrible joke. Moving on.
How will we know it's a terrible joke? We didn't even hear it.
You should get into it. Come on, who's you're gonna hurt?
I was gonna release Irredeemable the day Stealthabotte releases a return video.
All right. I see you. I see what you're doing.
Thundercat 123 Studios, Danny. How have you balanced the work for each of your projects? Do you switch between projects regularly, or do you just work on whatever ones you want at the moment? That's a good question. I feel like that sort of alludes to majority of the stop motion community, namely the people I've collaborated with before who just lost motivation on projects that they're working on, and I feel like I don't know. That's a really good question. I think right now I'm focusing on a bunch of different stuff, be it Marvel or DC. Sometimes I just write it on my schedule, like this day I'm working on Marvel, this day I'm working on DC, but it never really ends up that way. If I'm being honest, like you put something on your schedule, like it's a coin flip. You're gonna do it, you're not gonna do it. But
Could I interject with a joke?
Yeah, go with it.
All right, so to answer that question with brutal honesty, how does he balance the work for each of his projects? He has other people do them for him.
Oh. Wow. Well, that escalated quickly.
It's a joke. I prefaced it by saying it was a joke.
I know. Let's see.
I don't want to sound like I'm an asshole on the stream. I want to preface it by saying that.
I've been practicing saying things by following up by "it's a joke."
Yeah, it's just a prank, bro.
So funny is that, did you just call me the N-word? Oh, dude, it was just a joke.
All right, I wouldn't go that far.
I know. I'm just.
So
that's like trying to survive the Escape Room movie.
I haven't seen that movie yet. Have you seen it?
I watched a spoiler review. Does that count?
I'm not.
Sure.
Back to the question. It's tough. It's tough, man. I tell you that when I work on projects, it's usually the ones I feel like working on or feel like have been slacking a little bit. Recently, I've been slacking on writing for Batman and Ant-Man Irredeemable, and I should really get back on that. But I'm still sick.
Yeah.
He's a little sick today. But yeah,
it's all the voice work I did. My voice is shot.
Yeah, yesterday I was working on the Rise of the Black Panther, which is by far one of the most exciting things I've ever written for. But at the same time, I still got to focus on stuff that I'm doing next in the lineup. Like episode 3, part 2 of Captain America: The Super Soldier is just all I need to do is finish filming and editing, and that should be out soon. But as well as the Batman stuff, that's waited at this point 3 years. That's definitely got to get on filming at some point. So hopefully, when I get everything together, long story short, if I stop procrastinating about stuff, that's where the balance is at. Damn, that sounds like you're gonna be busy. That's for Moose, the color blue. I heard that. Moose, what project, whether that be a stop motion or film, are you most proud of?
Well, I couldn't. I guess like if we're gonna be talking about like films or whatever, I'm proud of, because there aren't a lot of stop motions that are up that I can say, oh yeah, that's a good one. I guess a video it's more of just a video really. Either the DGDX video that I did recently,
Yeah,
or
I'm gonna say I was proud of you for that video, man. That was awesome.
I was surprised how much traction it got just within a couple of days.
I mean,
And I guess I'm proud of the Infinity War trailer I posted a months ago.
that was awesome.
Yeah, but
Hey,
I
what's
guess
going on, bud?
but that video I'm most proud of.
Yeah, man. That was the video that definitely was just like this guy. Yeah, DG did make a lot of story posts about it.
Oh yeah, he talked about me a lot.
So it's just like, just sweep it under the rug. I mean, it's there, but just make sure no one can see it. But at the same time, you got to call it out, and every once in a while, you're gonna be like, "Hey, it's here.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do something about it." But
for sure.
At the end of the day, we're here to help each other out. I'm pretty sure that video wasn't to judge or shove him away. That I'm pretty sure you made that clear. But for the people who just took it the wrong way, that was definitely just to because this community, the stop motion community, importantly, is to build each other up. Is for constructive criticism. It's not for tearing each other apart, and that's what Moose was intending. He intended to get the message out that don't be a douche. That was don't be a douche. That was basically the message. Like treat other people well in this community. It's a small community. We can only make it great.
Should we all try to answer that? What project, whether it be a stop motion or film, are we proud of the most?
Sure. I mean, it's there.
Would you like to answer that, or do you want me to answer first?
You can go first.
Okay. Well, it's no shocker here to say that I haven't uploaded in a little while. I took a teeny tiny little break from YouTube, ever so small. No one even noticed I was gone. Totally not. But I mean, I'm proud of as weak as the quality is on a lot of my videos. I'm proud of yeah, I thought I had an answer for this, and now I suddenly don't have an answer for this. I really like my Protectabotte video because no one had any expectations for it. And people had no idea what to expect from it. And when I released it, it probably got the best feedback out of all my videos. Also, shout out to that Hulk stop motion I made that recreates that Vine, which for some stupid reason got it's the most viewed video on my channel. Also, like the Captain America Patriot video, which I wish had some more views. It was my first live action test. I was just screwing around. I'm like, I'm going to try this. I also, as tough as the videos were to make, Daredevil v Captain and Mind Games, I'm pretty proud of both of those videos for the fact that I really had to kind of push the limits of my technological
limitations.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of a lot of the stuff that I'm more excited for what I have in the works with Ant-Man Irredeemable and the stuff that I'm low-key working on when I do come back.
I guess at this point, in retrospect, I think everyone has the right to be proud of every project that they worked on. Like,
Yes.
sure, it might not be. Looking back at this point, I don't think Captain America: The Super Soldier Episode 2 was the greatest work I've ever done. Heck, I can argue that it might be one of the worst things I've ever made. But at that time, I was satisfied enough with it, and I was, it's something to be proud of. The fact that you put it out on this medium that has a lot of constructive criticism, I think that's something to be proud of in general. Like, for you to have the ability and bravery to put something like that up. And that's one of the risks being an animator. People can take your stuff positively or negatively, and the fact that that video got so much positive retention, that just means a lot, and that opens the door for more, I guess, more creative things to be proud of. So
Mazel tov.
It might have been, a short and stubble answer, but hey, it's true. You got to be proud of every project you make. Yeah. Thundercat asks, more TV, Korg. Any movies you are all excited or interested in seeing?
Escape Room.
Yeah, that's a fact. We got some good questions, but let's rush through that one real quick.
Moose, would you like to answer that movies one first?
What was the question?
Any movies you're excited?
Yep. Oh, right. Of course, Endgame. Yep. I think that's a big one. What else? Man, I just talked about this on another podcast last night. Actually, it was actually on the Spider Relief podcast with Binks Force and Animations. We talked about movies, most anticipated movies. Right, so go watch that one. You haven't seen that one. It's a good one. Glass. I'm excited for Glass. Glass looks good. Glass looks good. The Lego Movie 2. John Wick 3.
Amazing.
Man, what else is coming out? Joker.
Oh, so good. I can't wait.
Yo, Joker looks interesting. And, Spider-Man Far From Home, It Chapter 2 is another one.
You just stole all of my anticipated... I'm just kidding.
I didn't.
You probably just went on Google and looked at all of the movies. Just scroll through. Yeah. Movies 2019.
I did.
What did I tell you?
Well, I am excited for those movies, though.
I mean, the only thing I have to add to that are the live-action Disney movies. I'm a sucker for the Lion King, so I'm excited. I'm really excited for the live-action Lion King.
I'm not too excited for them.
Be Prepared isn't in it. I'm not happy.
Understood. All right.
Oh, of course it's going to be in it. There's no doubt.
No, they said it wasn't going to be in it.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe.
That's the one thing. If that song isn't in the movie, it's gonna immediately drop a letter grade. I don't care how good it is. As far as the movie, I'm
that we did. Sorry to interrupt you, but he's angry that no one put Toy Story 4 on their list.
I was about to say that.
Okay.
I was about to say that. I'm looking forward to Toy Story 4. I'm looking forward to Dark Phoenix. I don't know if anyone mentioned that. Because we ran out of movies to talk about, and I'm excited for Captain Marvel with Zachary Levi. I can't wait for it.
Mm-hmm. That's the most exciting Captain Marvel movie I've ever seen. It looks great.
I can't wait for Captain Marvel with Zach Levi. He's gonna do great things. I'm excited.
I think that's about it. Like, we literally named the movies coming out this year.
I think we missed a question too, by the way.
Did we? All right, let's go back.
I think the question was about motivation. What do you do when you're not motivated to work on a video for all of you?
Where is it?
It's literally right underneath the question that was at Moose. Yeah.
Okay. What do you do when you're not motivated to work on a video for all of you?
Try.
What do I do? You said cry? That's
No,
like
just,
dark.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
oh my god.
Come on, I'm the comedic relief of the stream. I have to do something.
Yeah, otherwise this stream would be so boring.
I mean, Thundercat did ask how I was doing, so.
Okay. So what do you do when you're not motivated to work on a video?
I listen to music or play games or play my guitar or whatever.
Good one.
Pretty much.
Good.
Agreed.
Pretty much just
Like I just
normal
watch
stuff.
movies. Yeah, watch TV shows about a particular thing that I feel like I'm missing out on, or read comics. That's a big thing. Play with action figures. No, I'm just kidding. Video games is a really big
play
thing.
with action figures.
No, it's never mind. When Spider-Man PS4 came out, that was the #1 thing on my mind. Like, make a Spider-Man video, and especially now after Into the Spider-Verse, which I think is the
Into
best
Spider-Verse was fantastic. It was so good.
It was just, I had to come up with an idea, and all of a sudden, millions of ideas came out for a Miles Morales video on my channel, and here we are. Just another set of procrastination.
I got
listening to music is a good one.
Yeah, quick question for the chat. Can you still hear us? Because War TV said the audio cut out. So anyone in the chat? Okay. Right, Deanna Star 7 can still hear us talking. So I think we're okay. As far as my motivation or lack thereof, I mean, I'm a pretty bad example of motivation right now. Not uploading for over a year. But what I used to do and what I still kind of do is I read through what I've written for a project. I either talk to other people about what I've written for the project and get their feedback on it, what they think, or I take my figures off the shelf and I try to set up the scene and I try to see what it could look like and how I could film it, and then that kind of reinvigorates the excitement a little bit. Mm-hmm. In addition to doing what everyone else already mentioned.
All right. That sounds about correct. When you film for a stop motion, do you show any references to other works in film, comics, TV shows, etc.? That is a fantastic question, because I think that's really it's the most fun to do in a video, yet it's also the most difficult, because I think, just for me, because it's hard to not be obvious about it. Hey, this is Stanley. I want you to see Stanley. By the way, rest in peace. But
for respects to Stanley.
Yeah. Like, you can't not make it obvious sometimes. But to find that balance, like, I saw a video a long time ago. It said on the very back, and I think it was blurry too, that Stanley was here or something like that. I think that's the kind of Easter eggs and, references that animation should have, in the proper balance of such, because you don't want to overdo it, and I don't think that's answering the question. Do you show any references? Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All I can think about is in the Stealthabotte stop motion that I did. I literally just really horribly not Photoshop, but I put Christian Bale's Batman face on First Aid, and I put Wilson Fisk's face on Ratchet in the end credit scene. Needless to say, I absolutely love to reference other things in my projects. A lot of my projects are very I love the Easter eggs, and I love the references that I can throw into different things, whether it be little cues in the dialogue or sound effects. Like the Wilhelm scream is always a classic, and I will love and support it for as long as I'm alive. But there's a lot of really cool little things that when I filmed projects and when I'm working on projects right now that I like to allude to. It's always fun to see who's paying attention to the things like that. Moose, do you got anything?
Yeah, so I like to put Easter eggs and stuff in my stuff.
It's great. Yeah.
Easter eggs and stuff in my stuff.
Yeah. No, like the one example I think of is episode 0 and my Civil War video where the reporter and his name is Stanley Leeton and it's from channel and the channel name is channel 616. Like that's also a bit of a reference to
that's great.
To DZ's like they had a character and the channel name was New Channel 52, like in reference of the the New 52 line.
Mm-hmm.
So I like putting little Easter eggs and stuff if I can make it fit and make it make sense,
Yeah, I'm gonna give a few away right now and breeze through it because we have a lot of questions to catch up on. But that said, the news report. I don't know if any of you guys saw the post-credit scene of Ant-Man the Black Ant, but there was a news report there, and the heck is it called? But just the whatever they see in the news, there are a bunch of things going on. There's stuff in Hell's Kitchen, thief caught in webs, and just a bunch of fun Easter eggs, and also that character that's featured in that post-credit scene, the Mini Cooper driver. That's kind of like our for anyone who watches Lawless 1 and his earlier videos where he had was it C-3PO? He had C-3PO in like life-threatening situations every single time. That's going to be this character. So
and all right, mild spoiler, but they will show up in Irredeemable.
Oh,
this guy can't catch a dang break.
And that
whenever that comes out,
when we were going into Irredeemable planning, one of the first things that I was hell bent on making sure of was including that moment.
Include this Mini Cooper driver? It's just like I love this character. He literally messaged me. He's like, "Hey, I love this character in the first one. Why the heck did you put him? And can we have him in the sequel?" I'm just like, "What sequel?" And so we just.
Was that the starting point of Irredeemable? Was it because of my love for that character?
I sure hope not. That would be a very terrible way to encourage others into making a sequel.
Just hinge your project on a single bit part character, and it will work fine. Promise. I guarantee it.
Guaranteed.
Yep. All right, and a question from BugCon: what would you say is one of your most challenging projects to make, be it filming, effects, or just script-wise? Ooh, that's a fun question.
That's a really good question.
All of them, yeah.
I'm gonna quickly answer this because I'm the least qualified to answer this, but every single project that I've done, I've always tried to do something a little bit differently. Like I try to either improve my frame rate, or I add a new effect, or I try a different technique. Like I remember in the Daredevil v Captain stop motion, I kind of did this like one take brawling sequence on a green screen, and my hands were totally in the shot. So what I had to do in order to mask that was just use digital transitions, kind of like fast panning, make sure that my hands wouldn't be too visible. So stuff like that. It's always really fun to throw those new kinds of wrenches into your projects, but it can also be really, really challenging. So the technical stuff for me is the most challenging. Writing comes pretty easily. The voice acting, pretty easy. But the editing and the technical stuff is my kryptonite.
I have a long answer for this, so if you want to answer first, Moose, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say I 100% agree with Stealthabotte, but I also think personally for me, script writing is a little bit difficult. But it's difficult for me considering I'm someone that tries my best to differentiate myself to other creators. Just to try to so people can, when they think of my version or my take on a character or something, it can be like, my people look at that and think that's a stop motion moose made. That's something that's different from like your two style of animating or your TVs or anyone else's. So I think also filming is also a bit difficult, just on the pure fact of filming can either the filming process and how one does it can either make or break the video. Like what the audience is looking at, that's the appealing thing. If they don't like what they're looking at, they're not gonna watch it.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I think so. As much as like I'm like what you said, the script writing, the filming part, and all that's easy. I think the filming part is the most difficult, considering you have to make
Mentally, physically,
like
and emotionally.
oh yeah, like you have to. It's all about presentation, you know. So,
Perhaps I should have prefaced my
so
answer.
if you mess it up, then you know, then yeah, like you said, you're not gonna get too big of a following.
Perhaps I should have prefaced this answer by saying that every single element of creating a project of this level is difficult. Every stage you will have some difficulty with. The writing stage can be very difficult. The animation can be really tough if you have some bad figures you're working with, or if you have some rough tech to work with. Editing is just the hardest part for me. Like out of the three, it's the part that I'm least excited for.
Why would you say that personally?
I'm just not good at it.
All right, fair enough. That's pretty fair. I can agree with that.
I think script writing is one of the most difficult parts, not just for stop motion animation, but for everything in general. Because especially for the projects that Stealthabotte and I are working on, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum, those projects, we have had sleepless nights. I can't even. Sometimes it's not even that fun to just sit back and think about all these things that you want in a project. It's simultaneously just you have so many ideas. So it's fun. It's productive. It's somewhat difficult, but I think filming might just be the most difficult part of it, because I love script writing and I love doing the effects, and as difficult as it is, it gets less difficult when you love doing something, because then all the passion just pours into it. And filming might just be it, because again, as I said, it has a mental, emotional, and physical toll on you, especially when you drop your figures or you're posed and just you're ready to go, ready to film, and then you're taking that shot. It just tips over. You have to redo it. It's just a pain, and so that's probably it for me.
Before we move on to the next question, I wanted to add a funny little trivia.
Do it.
Daniel almost fell asleep on me while we were working on the script for Irredeemable. He pretty much totally fell asleep on me.
That's hilarious.
He's zoned out for a good. He's zoned out for a good 10 to 15 minutes, I think.
All right. For the record, what was going on? That was 3, 4 in the morning. I was just done. We had so many. We had both stupid and genius ideas. All right. So we had a bunch of jokes and a bunch of really good material, and I was just like, dude, where's the sharp dividing line? And I couldn't find it. It took me forever to find it, so I fell asleep.
And I just kept going. I didn't even know he fell asleep. I was still chugging along. I was still working on Daniel.
All right, Thundercat asked, was it like casting for a Marvel video? Do you only look for those that can bring a similar tone to the MCU, or do you look for other factors? This is a really good question.
Oh, I like that question.
If you guys don't mind, I'll answer it first.
Go for it.
The people in this stream, all right, Stealthabotte and Moose, they are incredibly talented voice actors, aside from being talented animators. So I think casting them was just part of that's one of the factors, I guess. People who can not only bring features that I look for, especially because my universe is kind of grounded in MCU reality, yet also not really. I look for, great things about their performances, and then that's what I look for, yet the content of their character. Because you have voice actors who're just like, dude, no, hell no, I'm not voicing this, I'm not doing that. But these guys are just awesome. And like, heck, we were talking to Moose a couple of months ago about a role that he's going to be doing in the Wasp project. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that he's
Spoilers
here.
for
He's
my
cast.
job.
and literally he just said yes. So that's also one of the factors, I guess. Just someone who's easy to talk to and people who are genuinely passionate about the craft that they're doing. And for a Marvel video specifically, because the people I've worked for on the DC side are also phenomenal. Shout out to those guys. But for a Marvel video, yeah, my universe is grounded in the MCU. For certain characters, I look for the closest to the MCU version. Like right now, I'm in the process of casting the Wasp as well as a few others for future projects, and they are spot on. I'm just teasing you guys for the future of what's to come, but they are talented.
Be excited.
Be excited. Be prepared. We're
putting the song in, damn it.
You're real salty about the song being cut out.
I'm saltier than a pretzel.
That's too much salt, man.
All the salt.
All right, so we've had a few missed things, and we've had War TV is going to watch on his TV. Thundercat is going to marathon your videos. Stealthabotte, just picture Clark Kent when hearing your voice. Just a bug observation. That's a first, isn't it?
Oh, that's cool. I never thought of myself as a Clark Kent.
Huh. Well, that's anybody looking for a Clark Kent?
What? I mean, if you guys don't mind, I want to answer that casting question too a bit.
Go for it.
As both an actor and as a casting director for my own projects and for others, as I've kind of forced casting decisions on Daniel a couple times. Sorry, buddy.
I will never forgive you. No, just kidding.
It depends. Like,
this
as an actor,
it's been you like throwing Daniel out under the bus.
Hey, I'm used to it. That's basically my home. You know, I have a nice little camp out under there.
Instead of Batman under the dark, it's Daniel under the bus.
You thought I said you lived under a bus?
That's what it is now. That's what it is now. He's under a bus. But it depends on the casting director. Like for me, I like to look at whatever. How do I put this? Like, I like both really original and unique voices that kind of evoke the spirit of the character, or representations that are almost identical to the character. It depends on the project, and it depends on what the goal of the project is. I've had to perform for different clients who either want a dead-on impression or something very fresh and original, and they want me to experiment a bit. Like for one voice project, I was literally doing a voice with a water bottle around my mouth. So you kind of have to get experimental a little bit sometimes. So when I'm casting for a project and when I'm being casted for a project, it's a very, very wide range of what to expect. And it depends on what the creator wants. But I like to expect the unexpected. Either do something original or do something faithful and kind of close. That's what I look for, I guess.
Yeah, because I remember when I was casting Stealthabotte for Hank Pym, I was just like, dude, Hank Pym, Michael Douglas's take? Can you do that? And he was just like, I think I can do Michael Douglas's voice, but I don't think it perfectly encapsulates what this dialogue should be spoken from. And so he came up with his own little take on it, and thus you have his voice for Ant-Man the Black Ant.
Scott, get out of the goddamn churros. We need to get back to the mission.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We have a bunch of other people on this stream. That's insane.
Welcome.
We've peaked.
Hello.
I hope we have peaked.
We might have. We actually might have. This is a pretty cool stream. We're having a lot of fun. How about you guys? Are you guys having fun yet? I
am having a great time.
I am having the time of my life. On a scale of 1 to 10, how on a scale of 10 to 10, how great is Wonder Man? Wonder Man is excellent. That's for you, Bob. Hey, howdy doody. What's going on, Jacoby? Crispy.
I'm just scrubbing the chat for like a bunch of questions that we may have missed because right before we started streaming, we talked about the fact that apparently we've missed questions.
Yeah.
So I don't want to miss questions
earlier. Yeah. So where did we leave off? There we go. Just right here. Stealthabotte picture. Okay. By the way, Moose, I don't think I'd let you answer that question. How about you for casting?
You want to answer that question while we scrub for more?
Guess not.
All right. Oof.
Let's see.
This question, and I'm scrolling for it.
Yeah.
Which figures? Yeah.
Which figure that you worked with was the hardest to pose, transform while filming? Those figures that are not posable enough to my liking. One of which is the suited body, like be it for Tony Stark, the new Everett Ross, the Phil Coulson, all have terrible. Like any figure really with good ankle articulation are like good for me, but those with either loose or either a lack thereof for articulation in general, those just frustrate me. And I've heard good things about the new Nick Fury body and how the ankles have a little bit of better articulation, and I hope that's the case because that suited body just frustrates me every single time. And you know, it's not even just, it's moreover frustrating than hard because in all seriousness, the joints on that thing are crisp, like they're well manufactured, but just the way it functions, just it's annoying.
Did you wrap up on that question? I didn't want to cut you off.
I apologize again for taking the poll.
As both a Transformers animator and as a Marvel Legends animator.
Tell me about that. That was
Transformers. With Transformers, there are certain figures that lack heel spurs. And if they lack heel spurs, which is basically like backs of the feet, like there are some Transformers that only have like the toes and it doesn't really balance well. Or figures with loose leg joints. Those are the worst to film with. And for the Marvel Legends and humanoid figures, like I've recently acquired some DC Multiverse figures. Any figures that either have really small feet and heavier upper bodies, or they don't have enough range in the ankle pivots or the forward and backward range. So any of the suit bodies, like Daniel mentioned, there are certain like female Marvel Legends characters, like the Age of Ultron Black Widow has ridiculously small like shoes.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And trying to stand that figure up at all in a neutral pose is a nightmare.
That's why. Sorry to cut you off, but that's why.
You're good. That's all I had to say.
Stealthabotte and I were like talking about how the new Black Widow figure, which he acquired recently, how fantastic it is because of
it's the best.
The Infinity War one. The Infinity War one's the best MCU Black Widow figure that we've gotten.
Absolutely.
We've only gotten two. And the first one wasn't bad. The first one isn't a bad figure at all. I just think they truly improved on the body mold and the leg articulation on the new one. And the sculpt too is great. And I think also what helps is also what they're doing with their facial recognition technology that they're doing. I think Hasbro's catching up. They're doing pretty well so far. For the most part, I think last year was a great year for Marvel Legends too.
Oh, tell me about it, man. Like just that. I'm blank. The 10-year anniversary alone, like that. The Pepper Potts and the Trevor head sculpts, probably the best ones. They're just getting better.
The technology, the dot matrix paintwork, the digital sculpting, it's really upping the quality of the Marvel Legends quite significantly.
Oh, and the Killmonger. How could I forget about the new Killmonger? Just insane.
Oh, I got that on pre-order. I'm excited.
So good.
I'm gonna kind of just. Daniel's gonna be like, of course he is.
No, I think I know what you're gonna talk about, and I don't.
He knows exactly what I'm gonna talk about.
I don't blame you at all. It's fantastic, and that's why it's figure ever.
So, with Daniel's help, actually, I was fortunate enough to acquire a figure that I've always wanted. It's the Defenders Daredevil from the San Diego Comic-Con 5-pack. And the Charlie Cox head sculpt is, the Charlie Cox head sculpt is probably one of the best I've ever seen in my life. And it kind of spawned a whole new project and a whole new spin on the Daredevil character for my future works.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
It just looks, I don't even blame him.
I would want the Culling Wing and maybe the Iron Fist.
Oh my God, they're so expensive though. Like they each go for like $50 on eBay. And I'm just like, no, okay, hold the phone.
You might be wondering why he knows that so precisely, but that's a conversation for another day. Next question.
Because I constantly scroll eBay.
Short answer: he lives on eBay.
A little bit.
Thundercat asked, when you get writer's block, what is the best way to try and stop it?
Watch a lot of movies and TV shows. Talk with friends. Like I talk with Daniel a lot about my ideas, and he kind of mellows me out if I'm too memey, or if he gives me some better ideas if I'm just not straight.
Just right. I think the best way to do it, like Stealthabotte said, watch movies, TV shows, talk to people, read books.
Get inspired.
Yeah, like go out and explore the world, and once you have
that tree,
millions of ideas come rushing to your head. If you actually just focus on the idea that you want to do the most, you'll find yourself writing for hours just because you're so passionate and you know exactly what you're gonna do. I mean, that's just the case for me. But anyone else want to touch on that question? Because we've got a lot.
We do.
I think, do I have anything to add? I really don't know. I really don't have much to add. I think you guys pretty much just said everything I wanted to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Like everything you said was 100% agreeable.
That must be really hard. Daniel gets that. Any Daredevil fan will get that.
But it's all good.
Okay, Thundercat asked, so besides Marvel and DC, are you interested in other projects, Danny? I was actually, after, I was a fan of Transformers for a little bit, and I actually announced, like, for all of those original Project422 fans, like, when I was still Project422 minus the films, and the start of my Instagram, I announced a bunch of Transformers projects, and I was just like, no, that's going to be a pain in the butt to make. Like, I had a pretty good story going on, but no, I just couldn't do that. And yeah, that's for, besides Marvel and DC, obviously Daniel Under the Bus, that's up in the air already.
I'm pumped.
I guess some other stuff I'm interested in. Probably that probably what to do for other projects, if anything. I haven't done a lot of DC stuff, to be honest, although I would like to. But probably maybe I had a horror idea, I had a Walking Dead idea, and some Star Wars ideas, but
horror is a good one.
Yeah, especially there's some really creative horror stop motions like on YouTube that I've seen that are pretty good.
You talked about the Hellboy one, right? And
there's the Hellboy and Kratos one, Sin City, forgot.
So excited for that. We need more comic book genres in here. Like, we need figures of other comic book genres. Like,
we need more figures of video games too. Like, Detroit Become Human needs a toy line. Damn it! Stop motion the shit out of that.
That's his return. Detroit, the return of Stealthabotte.
Don't tempt me like that.
BugCon said, admittedly, I would be looking for a Clark voice for my first project. Wink, wink, Stealthabotte.
All right.
People are talking about it. People are talking about how I should cancel all of my projects and just go with Daniel under the bus.
No, please don't do that. Please. I have spent way too many sleepless nights on Irredeemable and Wasp Quantum. Please don't do that. That would be very unfortunate. We missed a question from our beloved friend Thundercat. I feel like this is a really good one, though. How do you know what music to use when setting the tone in your videos? It's right underneath the one that he animated.
There it is.
And it's right under the War TV comment about Minions.
Oh,
very much.
What?
This is a great question.
That's such a good question.
What was the question?
How do you know what music to use when setting the tone in your videos?
Oh, that's good. Can I answer this one?
Go for it.
The reason I want to answer it is also because how relevant that question is right now. And I think that's also the most difficult thing for me in terms of when filming Civil War and then thinking about, because that's something I don't think about too much. Because there's obviously with the whole issue of copyright and making copyright infringement and all that by using songs you want to use.
Demonetized.
And there's always figuring out that question and but yeah, I think I think that's always been a hard question for me to ask. Sorry, I meant that's always a hard thing for me to figure out because finding that, like I said about like a presentation, like if you don't find the right music that helps set the tone and doesn't make it feel too cheesy or whatever, or trying to take itself too seriously, whatever kind of tone you want to go for. But I don't know, like music. I don't know. I guess I just go find video game soundtracks or royalty-free stuff, or I have some friends that make some small tracks. I have some friends that were wanting to make small tracks for me for my videos, so I have like original music and I can't get copyright for it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Unless, my favorite place for inspiration is obviously the YouTube library. It's just so great. obviously a joke.
I love the YouTube library.
But that's actually a really good question. I usually just look on a bunch of really fantastic movies or that of which have the tone perfectly encapsulated. Like a few movies came to mind that are by far one of the greatest movies when it comes to music, because I think these movies, and I'm about to list them, like handle music and the tone of that scene in particular really well. The likes of which include Baby Driver. I think Baby Driver in every scene.
Oh, Baby Driver's the best.
Like with music to level 100,000, like every scene in that movie just excellent.
It was a musical without people breaking into song and dance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually kind of a fair comparison. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how can you not sing Easy?
I feel like that really fits or works. Also the thing with what I really love about Baby Driver, it's also just with the usage of backgrounds and editing, and like with the music and timing of like the uses of editing with the music, it's just like the movie would be entirely different without it. I truly believe that.
I mean, Edgar Wright is both a fantastic visual and auditory director, so I think he has that down to a science. In terms of other films like it, I think the Guardians of the Galaxy movies do it really well. I think James Gunn did an excellent job with the first one, and the way the music was used was fresh for the MCU, and I loved it so much. Another Marvel movie, and I'm going to stop naming Marvel movies, but I think Black Panther did it really well. Like,
yeah,
the music was just like, you can listen to the music, and it just got you in the moment. Especially my favorite part of the soundtrack being Killmonger's theme. Like, how can you not? I mean, it's pretty spectacular. And just movies like those just set the tone and just get you on your way, That's how you enjoy movies, and those are the kind of movies I watch to in reference to how I set the tone for my videos.
Regarding me and what I do, I'm very much a music guru. I love to sing, and I've been in choirs all my life, and I love listening to music.
Same here, man.
I'm a huge movie and television show soundtrack junkie. Like the Daredevil soundtrack was my workout routine.
Ooh,
I loved it.
The Daredevil soundtrack is great, and
it's amazing.
It's so good. Funny thing is, I actually a while ago I made a post on my Instagram, and it was I love Daredevil. I love the show so much. It's one of my favorite TV shows in the past few years, and it's one of my favorite Marvel properties. And I grew up with Daredevil growing up. That was a good but I just made a custom of the black suit a while ago, and I wanted to use them for a stop motion eventually.
Gotta post a picture of that.
It took me like 2 weeks to get it done, and it was gonna be just like a Daredevil and another character, and it was, something I wanted to do, and I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, just that's awesome. After Daredevil season 3, and I genuinely think after Daredevil season 3, I think Daredevil became one of my favorite shows, up there with Stranger Things and Black Mirror and The Punisher. And everything else. It's just so good. Obviously, it's SpongeBob. Like, how can you SpongeBob? No, it's just such a good show. It gets better. It's also sad that it's whatever. We're not gonna get into that.
No, we can a little bit. That if you really like Daredevil, you should totally check out the Save Daredevil campaign. Check out that petition because Kingpin himself, Vincent D'Onofrio, shared it, and
Kingpin and Marcy
it has surpassed 3 separate signature goals in 24 hours. According to what I've heard,
we can do it. We can do it.
It's above 60,000. We really need to try.
Yep. Let's see.
I've seen the petition. I think I've signed it, but I hope it comes. I'm also so excited for Punisher season 2.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Even though it might be next on the hit list of getting canceled.
It's going to be.
Same with Jessica Jones season 3, but
I mean,
I'm still excited regardless.
We love the Marvel Netflix shows with all of our heart.
Yes.
I'm excited to see Jigsaw and Punisher back,
Ben Barnes
kicking ass and killing people. John Bernthal is such an amazing choice. He's the best choice. His whole arc in Daredevil season 2 was the best parts, and the entire season. Hell, even some scenes are the best scenes in the entire show.
Just the casting team behind the Marvel Netflix shows almost nails it every time. Charlie Cox, John Bernthal, Vincent D'Onofrio, they crush it. They absolutely crush it.
Yep. And just man, it's tough, especially because the way Bernthal and I'm gonna geek out about Bernthal. I'm a big Bernthal fan.
Bernthal's a beast.
Yeah, the way
Bernthal's fantastic.
In season 2 of The Walking Dead especially is one of my favorite seasons of that show because of Bernthal, and his acting is superb. So
Bernthal is one of the more underrated / talented actors I think that's on television / Hollywood. Yep. So anything that I see John Bernthal in, I'm like, all right, you got me in.
Yep.
Absolutely agree.
Thundercat is enjoying coming up with these questions, so we gotta get through these. Okay,
and we need to make sure we go back and answer every single one if we're just.
I mean, if you guys are up for another after party, I don't know.
I'm game.
All right, hell yeah, I'm having fun trying to come up with questions. Okay, so when is green screen most beneficial?
Where is that? Question. I'm looking at.
Right here.
I'm trying to scroll for it myself, and I'm just.
There are a lot of freaking.
There's so many. There's so many comments. This is one of the buzziest chats we've ever had.
Project
There's
422.
a lot going on.
Pretty sure it's because of Moose, man. Moose is getting a
Moose
all
is
the
bringing all of the attention. It's great.
It's awesome.
We gotta have you on more.
Yeah, come on. All right.
I don't know
When
why.
is green
I
screen
don't
most
know why,
beneficial?
but thank you. I mean, if
You're
that's the
Superman.
case, I feel
It
honored.
is the case. You should.
No,
should
you know
have.
what's funny? You know what's weird? I remember I got a lot of traction when I voiced in Leo Legendary's few videos and then a few more videos coming out that he's doing. I won't say what, but voicing for him, and then I think recently with the last video I made, I think that's what with a lot of people it started. I got a lot of attention from that, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you do a fantastic job, so no surprise there.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate
it. He's the key to our success. I told you casting him was a great idea, Daniel. I told you. Don't doubt me ever again.
I noted. So when is green screen most beneficial?
I think this could be tied into. I think this question can be tied into whether or not practical sets and green screen are more beneficial. I think we could tie both of these together, knock 2 in 1.
Just don't overdo it, That's my short answer. Just don't overdo the green screen. Like not like the room. Not like the room. They perfected that technology.
Oh, the room? Oh yes, the room. Perfect execution of green screen. Absolutely. Yep. The fact that movie didn't win any accolades whatsoever is abysmal.
Yeah, amen. But in all seriousness, I think again, don't overdo it. Like there are movies sometimes that just green screen it all the way. Like again, there are some that pull it off just seamlessly. One of them being the Jungle Book movie, which well deserved with its praise for great CGI and green screen work and whatnot. But just don't overdo it to a point where it's obvious and the point where it's just your character is slowly becoming the Incredible Hulk, because that's not fun.
Oof. Moose, would you like to give some input on green screen versus practical sets and when green screen is most beneficial?
Well, I think you Stealth, you've done some green screen work yourself. I think Moose is muted right now, but you can touch on that first.
Oh, okay. I did not. Wow.
It's okay. Moving on.
I'm blind right now, so it's all good. Okay. In that case, for me, it's tricky because green screen can be very, very helpful if there's no legitimate way that you can afford to do it practically. Like, I'm a guy who likes practical set pieces to work with. I really enjoy having those surroundings kind of there to work with rather than kind of have to predict where they're going to be.
Yeah.
But sometimes, given budget, given technological limitations, it's just not possible. So, I mean, what tech you have at your disposal depends on how good you are with green screen, blue screen editing. Depends on the figures and the characters you're working with. Like Transformers, you're probably going to have to work with green screen more so. Or with certain interiors, you're going to have to work with Marvel Legends a little bit with green screen. It can be really tough because diorama pieces are ridiculously expensive at times, and trying to make stuff handmade might not always be the easiest thing to do either. So for me, it's been very tricky, especially since I've had really crappy tech to work with most of the time. Hopefully that's going to change by the time I make my grand return. But I think that the most important thing would be, can you do this practically? Is there any way you can do it practically? Yeah. If not, you have to do some serious digging for the best backgrounds you can use. Sometimes it might not be worth the effort to build a set, and sometimes it might not be worth green screen. So it really depends on the context of the scene, the figures you're using, depends on if you can do it practically or not.
Yeah, and the convenience of it. You don't want to, destroy your whole house just to get one shot of a frame that you can do green screen or.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry.
It's all good. It's just like
but I heard the question though, and I've been listening I just had to mute myself for a second.
It's all
But
good.
yeah, that's a really good answer, Stealth. But I wish I could do more practical stuff. As sometimes I either don't have the resources or I don't have the money. So as much as I would really love to do more practical stuff, the funny thing is, a lot of Civil War is like not a lot of it, all of it's green screen with some props. So I mean, I've somehow was able to master, not really master, but understand green screen. So if you can understand it, I say go for it. But if you really don't know what you're doing, then I know just keep practicing with it. That's my answer. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's just what I wanted to say. That's all I just wanted to say. That's all I was gonna say. It's just just practice with green screen, or if that's something you not really want to do, then just do what Stealthbot said. Just work on practical sets. Get props and stuff. Like I usually go to Hobby Lobby or just like a small little store. Like look on Amazon, find for small miniature stuff, and yeah, you'll find anything anywhere online, or you just go to your store or something, or Walmart.
Sounds like an infomercial. Find the size. It's right for your action figure.
But I also think that if you can use a blend green screen with practical really well, then I think go for that too. Because there's some people that does practical aesthetics and uses green screen when necessary. So it all goes around to what you're trying to do in terms of what you want your stop motion to look like. So
I mean, if you can accomplish it with practical sets, do that. I think we're hitting two birds with one stone, answering Thundercat's question and following that. But yeah, so if you can mix and match, make it work. And not to pat myself on the back, but I think I did pretty good on episode 3 of Captain America: The Super Soldier, which was by far the best green screen work after the Black Ant, especially in that Quantum Realm scene. Oh, the worst green screen I've ever done. I think I improved and made I think I did really well.
I got 2 quick things to interject here. One, there are a couple of different ways that you can do green screen, blue screen. If you have mobile technology and you just want to play around with it a little bit and you're just trying to start up, Stop Motion Studio is an app on the App Store, and I think on Google Play too.
That's the app I use.
You can do, they kind of have this awesome built-in sort of chroma keying where it automatically shows you the background and you film with the background right behind you. There's also legitimate chroma keying with a more advanced software. So a little bit, have some fun with it.
Yeah, for sure.
And the second point I wanted to say is play to your strengths. Like for me, I work so much better with practical stuff because I'm not that great at editing yet. This whole thing is a work in progress. You have to really build on your skills, and you just have to keep on grinding, keep on improving. So I think that it depends on what you feel you are stronger at. If you really like the green screen tech, then do what you're comfortable with. But don't be afraid to try new things, and there are plenty of ways to get started.
Yeah, it's all a learning process, and that's what we're all here for, to help each other out and just show everyone the ropes. That's the best part about it.
All right, good. Next question.
I think we have a lot of questions. We have a lot of questions.
Stealth has a crush on Daredevil. I know it. I feel it in my guts. Damn it. Why you expose me like that?
Let's see.
And Deanna, don't confirm it. What are you doing?
I think we missed another one. All right. Which character has been the hardest to cast? I think this is going to be the breezy question because we gotta get through
these. Depends on the project.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I guess ever. I mean, right off the bat, I knew Hank Pym wasn't that hard to cast. I knew I wanted Stealthabotte for the role. I just needed his confirmation. Otherwise, we wouldn't be where we are.
No Irredeemable or Wasp.
Captain America was probably hardest to cast until Unhip Slate turned up on the block. Shout out to you, buddy. That guy just does an amazing Captain America. Anyone agree?
I agree. Very much agree.
Unhip Slate just kills it, man.
I mean, for me, casting is complicated because I've had to cast for a bunch of different projects. I can't think of one off the top of my head that's been the most difficult to cast. I know a lot of really great voice actors. Actually, a few of them are in this chat right now. Skyflake, Laka, Diana, my Smeal friends. But when it comes to like casting and whatnot, the hardest things to cast tend to be the characters that don't really have a vision for them yet. Like original characters or characters who haven't really been adapted all that much. And also, I think it's really safe to say female characters are really tough to cast because there aren't that many female actresses in the YouTube world just yet. So I'm really fortunate that I know several and they're really getting involved, and I'm looking forward to actually being able to work with more of them. So I think those are the answers. Either characters that haven't been brought to life in any shape or form before, or female characters. I think they're the hardest to cast.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that.
We missed a few, but just to touch on a couple. So many eBay packages are shipped to the house.
Touch me, I'm working on a project.
Let's see. Question: what are your preferred mics for recording? I use a Blue Snowball Ice.
Funny story. So I only have a lavalier mic, aka a lapel mic, that I use because I haven't quite yet been able to like really afford a super duper great mic. I'm hoping to either get a Snowball or a Yeti or the Yeti Nano because I know that Blue is pretty good at making budget microphones that are decent quality. So if you're getting into the strict voice acting business, I'd strongly recommend getting a Blue Snowball, or if you can afford it, a Blue Yeti.
I think Audio Technica is also pretty great.
That too.
Let's see. Is it me or is Big Bad Toy Store really delayed with new figures in stock compared to regular stores or Amazon?
I use Amazon and eBay. Those are my shops.
Yeah, Thundercat is correct. Amazon is taken over, but at the same time, I order only from Big Bad Toy Store because they have a really great consistent deals. They don't change it up like Amazon does. But at the same time, residing in Canada, it's not really fun ordering from Big Bad Toy Store, who only offers for the US like shipping and all that jazz. And it can get really.
I like Big Bad Toy Store a lot, actually. I just pre-ordered some figures on there recently. I got to it. Do you collect the Black Series, like Star Wars Black Series?
I collected my very first, but I got it from Five Below.
What were they?
It was a Jyn Erso.
Oh, Jyn Erso. Okay. I just pre-ordered the Archive Pilot Luke and Boba Fett.
Nice.
I can either.
Yeah, but I'm very happy I got the Luke because the Luke just it's sold out on there. You can still get the Boba Fett if you get a chance. Comes out sometime this month. So I'm really excited to finally have them in my collection.
Yeah, Big Bad Toy Store is like a really good site again for a wide range of. Oh, Big Bad Toy Store is a big. No, I was going to do a commercial, but yeah, but it really is such a good site for buying stuff. It's just not convenient for international buyers.
I'm an eBay junkie. I'm Daniel can attest to it. My sister can attest to it. I have kind of dived into eBay as like my most reliable source for figure purchases because
what's up, Dark?
I can get them for the best possible price most of the time and in the best possible condition. I think I've had maybe one bad transaction on eBay after so many transactions I've been able to afford. So, I mean, I'm really satisfied with getting things from eBay because I don't like to pre-order everything, and I don't like to. If there's a 2-pack, but I only want one of the figures, I'm only going to get the one that I want or need. I'm very much focused on trying to buy what I need, and yeah.
All right, let's breeze through these quickly because we're missing a lot. Okay, so
Yeah, we are.
No offense, but if Stealth were to be a comic book character, he would be Elektra for obvious reasons. All right, that's a little not PG. Christopher Borchers said he used Mano AUA04 purchased on Amazon. Cool. Detroit Become Human must have a toy line. I agree. Detroit Become Human must have a toy line. I agree.
It needs to. I will do a series.
What's up, Dark? If everyone has trouble with battle music, I make fighting music for free, so hit me up anytime. Awesome. I'll definitely hit you up.
All right. All right. Daniel, looks like we got our guy for the Ant-Man Irredeemable score.
No, nice. I think we have a few touching on when we were talking about the royalty-free music and whatnot. They are just talking about it and how royalty-free music is used for their projects. Kevin MacLeod, that's a good choice. I feel like a lot of his tracks are used a lot nowadays, so you got to be more creative with it. And there are a bunch of other sites too that do it for free. So you just got to get the proper licensing. Your sister pieced out a couple of minutes ago, so see you later.
Crap. All right.
Do any of you work on a project so long that you get angry you can't put it out? The Batman project. The Batman.
I'm probably the most experienced with this question.
I was going to save you. I cut you off because I was trying to save you.
No, it's okay. I want to throw myself under this bus. It's fine.
Hey, it's called Daniel Under the Bus, so...
Featuring the roast of Stealthabotte, so I have a cameo in there.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of my projects. I was very frustrated by the time I decided to depart from YouTube because my technology just was not keeping up with my ambition. So I stepped away, and it was one of the toughest decisions I've had to make. I'm glad I made it, but it was really tough, and part of me is still struggling a little bit with that because it's tough saying goodbye for a while to working on something that you really care about or being part of something that you really care about. So, yeah, definitely been there, done that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think it's pretty difficult, and you just gotta hope for the best.
Yeah, I second that.
His theme was dope. I think Warren was talking about Killmonger's theme. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Okay, Bug said, okay, if you could pick a particular comic storyline to adapt, be it Marvel or DC, canon or Elseworlds, what would it be, and what spin would you put, if any at all? I don't want to touch on this specifically, so if you guys want to do it, I can just hint at it. Mine would be the Batman comic book arcs. I'm not going to say which one specifically. I'm sure I've touched on it in the past, but because things come and go and things change from time to time,
True.
Don't want to spoil it. How about you guys?
Moose, go first. I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, probably an idea that's a combination of Flashpoint Paradox and Doomsday Clock. Nice. I really enjoyed both of those stories a lot, and probably something that's its inspiration from the Flash TV show as well. Specifically, a bit from the third and second season, but that's an idea I've thought about. But if I had to do anything really specific, I probably would like to do something with the Crime Syndicate, like something that's similar to like the Earth 3 story or the Forever Evil or Crisis on the Two Earths, like the animated one.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe something like with Justice Lords. That'd be fun.
Oh, there are so many that I could pick. Oh my god. I'm gonna first talk about the projects I'm working on with Daniel here. I'm not gonna spoil it too terribly much, but there are specific, not as much storylines, but characters that we're resurrecting in certain little moments that we're hinting
Titles
at?
for sure reveal a lot.
Oh yeah, and there are some like there's really random ones like future project that I'm not going to hint at. Daniel will know which one, but I'm pairing up two characters from the same kind of
Realm.
series. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was a good word for it. I'm literally teaming them up. No one would have thought of it, but I'm like, you know what, this would be fun. Another thing that I really liked were I was
So
kind of
he is
low
planning projects, guys.
I'm planning projects for him. I'm planning projects for myself.
Woo.
I was kind of doing Trial of Hulk a little bit on my channel.
Ooh.
I was adapting a little bit of that.
Mhm.
I had an idea, which I'm not sure if I'm going to carry on with it, but I had an idea where Punisher would take on the Daredevil costume and kill a bunch of people to kind of disgrace the symbol. But then again, Bullseye can already beat me to that.
Mhm.
Speaking of adaptations, Daredevil is a TV show. Kind of want to adapt to that a little bit as a future project. I'm not really going to give it away just yet, but
Wink,
the
wink.
series
Hint, hint.
itself, yeah, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Or I really want to adapt. I really want to adapt something regarding that series and a bunch of other things. I also had an Elseworlds idea regarding Chris Pine in Wonder Woman, which I told Daniel about, but I'm not going to give that away here.
Chris Pine, so good.
Chris Pine, the best. I love Chris Pine.
Here's a little word of advice. So if you guys read the Ant-Man Irredeemable comics, you know what we're talking about.
The title is a big fat spoiler, actually, which is why we chose it. It is. Hey, for all they know, I could be a Russo brother, and I'm totally like lying right through my teeth.
It can't. It wouldn't probably like. It can change last minute. It might not even be. You know what? Thundercat has a whole video about projects and the titles that are quote unquote confirmed. So it can change. That's all I can say. Sorry, Thundercat. The only thing I can. Okay, so Thundercat said earlier. The only thing I can remember from Daredevil soundtrack is the intro. LMAO. Please don't get mad. We're not mad. That's
no. The intro is the best part.
Yeah. Season 3 has a great soundtrack, but the intro's great. Dark the Animator. Do you guys ever get excited for a project, get it prepared, but when you finally get to starting the project, you lose interest?
Every time.
All the time. That's how it is. All the time. All around.
The pitch is the best part, and then actually trying to do it is the worst part. Which is why our comments about motivation from earlier are really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Just my advice for that, because we can always lose sight of what's going on and just focus on the fact that, hey, we're stuck in this one spot and lose interest. My piece for that is, if you ever lose interest in one particular thing, try to find something that you do have, like if you are interested in, and just find the spark of whatever you really want to do. Something that you think you're willing to work on for the next couple of months until you find that fire again for the other project that you abandoned. But, just get excited for everything that you do, knowing that you love doing it. You can't be energetic, or you can't get anything done if you're not passionate about what you're doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, because
we got a lot of comments. Oh, you carry on with your thing. I was low key gonna change the topic, I think.
All right. So Dark said I had Infinity War finished and I got so unmotivated to put it out because I wanted to include different things. It's stressful. It really is, but doing something that you love it, and that's called passion, and you don't get tired of it. But if you're doing something that you don't really like, that starts to become stress. So you either need a break, or just take it a step at a time. Breathe.
Well, I'm gonna kind of spin off on that and saying that, like, passion, just because you have a passion doesn't mean you won't be discouraged at times. There will definitely be times when you feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. This might be a big mistake. But a passion is an ongoing thing. Like, you have to keep working at it a little bit. If you really care about it, then you'll find a way to get through it. If not, then let it go.
Right.
It happens.
Yeah.
No shame.
There are a lot of other things that you can be passionate about too. You can't just be this one thing. You can have multiple arenas, but you gotta focus on something. Like you gotta love it. You know, you gotta focus on that one thing that you're really passionate about. And then when you think that it's stressful, find something else. That's what leisure is for. That's why there are movies. There are different sources of inspiration.
Preach.
Yeah, if you're not having a fun and
Having
good
a
time
good
with the
time.
thing, then you're not gonna you're not gonna be inspired to do it at all. So and not want to do it at all.
Yeah.
So
Don't want to stop at all.
Look at Mr.
La, 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 la.
I can hear Stealth blushing at the thought of Daredevil right now. LMAO.
I'm
That's
always blushing at the thought of Daredevil. He is
he's
my.
so red right now. You can tell. You want to show them?
Wait,
Would
what
that be a
now?
little too
Right now?
right now? I mean, we did bring in blushing, and I was just like, you're a little too red.
Yeah, I mean, all right, fine.
I'm sorry. All right, everybody.
Do a lot of work to.
Just get on with it, sir.
Wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Daredevil. He's a little. He's blushing underneath. You can. There he is. He's a little red. You know, he's blushing too much.
I got the suit back there too, so
that's awesome. So, all right, awesome.
Yeet.
I have been.
Yes, for the record, I have been wearing this the entire time.
Oh yeah, he's been wearing that mask.
I've been wearing this the entire time. Like when we were talking about Daredevil, I thought I was gonna do it then, but then we moved on. I'm like, oh, all right, I guess I'll just carry on with it.
Let's see. Most definitely.
I see my face so in playback right now. Okay.
Daredevil name got called. Everyone cried. Well, I didn't like. Sure, Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Their seasons were decent. I definitely like. Luke Cage was okay. Iron Fist season 2 was a huge step up from season 1. So I think that's why I was a little bit more devastated at Iron Fist, especially because that ending left for so many open paths for it, and that's why I was a little sad. But Daredevil being just like 2 really solid seasons, and after the third, probably most solid season, in my opinion. I mean, a few probably would disagree, but I think for a show that's got consistently solid seasons, that's what disappointed a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Iron Fist and Luke Cage have their excuses. They get canceled because their prior seasons or their current seasons weren't really up to par.
They definitely weren't.
Oh.
I enjoyed the first season, Luke Cage. It just was up to a certain point. Probably most likely just like the second half with Diamondback and everything. I didn't really care for. So that's just me personally. I mean, you get also first season of Iron Fist. Could have been good the first season, but it didn't know what it wanted to be and what what its purpose was. But the second season is definitely better.
All right, so before we change topics, right before here, we're still on the Daredevil topic. I just saw Warren's post on Instagram. Congrats on the Daredevil role stuff.
Thank you. I mean, I was wearing the costume at the time I got the role, so I mean, I kind of like. No, I'm just kidding.
It was destined to happen.
I was really happy when I found out I got that, so thank you so much. I would also like commenting on the I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. Regarding the Iron Fist and Luke Cage cancellation, there were a couple of reasons why I wasn't as upset, but when they canceled Iron Fist, I made a whole Instagram story about it. I was upset. But here's the thing. So when they canceled Iron Fist and when they canceled Luke Cage, there were a lot of whisperings of the fact that because the shows weren't performing so good on their own, they were going to combine them into Heroes for Hire. There was a lot of talk of that potentially happening. And I'm like, you know what? Since they were both kind of underperforming, they were kind of struggling. I mean, Luke Cage had a good first season with a bad ending. Season 2 was good with a bad ending. Iron Fist season 1 was garbage, but season 2 was almost masterpiece level. So they kind of were both struggling a little bit. It would make sense to combine them into a team up, and they had the best dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Luke Cage season 2 got all the hype because of that team up episode.
Exactly. So we were upset at those cancellations, but there was a lot of hope for the fact that, yeah, they're going to cross over into Heroes for Hire. This is just to save money and time. This is the most logical thing. When they canceled Daredevil, that's when the hopes of Heroes for Hire was dashed. That's when we really realized that, yeah, Netflix is doing this despite Disney. They're doing this. They don't care about whether or not the shows are good, because Daredevil season 3 was a masterpiece. It was received well by critics and audiences alike. It didn't get as much social media traction because they purposely screwed it up. They literally started advertising the show a month before it came out. They purposely rigged this to fail. So we all thought that when Luke Cage and Iron Fist were being canceled, oh, they're just trying to save money. They're gonna wrap it up in Heroes for Hire. But when they canceled Daredevil, that's when literally when they canceled Daredevil, we're in the end game. We're in the end game now. This is it. They're canceling these shows regardless of whether or not they're good. And that's probably the saddest realization about that. So that's when people start crying, because yeah, Marvel Netflix is really done now. And that's unfair to the cast and crew and the fans. It sucks.
It really sucks a lot. Because I really enjoyed a lot of the Netflix shows, even though they obviously had their flaws. But I think it was really, really good and really great part of the, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's sad to know that the whole universe is just gonna be, wiped. The whole thing's just gonna be wiped out. I guess, with it being canceled.
And I think,
it's just.
Sorry to cut you off, but I also think Netflix in general make really fantastic originals, and I think I think their popularity it boosted once the Marvel stuff started coming out. So it's a shame.
Yeah, I think another thing regarding the whole shows being canceled is the fact that I prefer the Marvel television shows more than the movies lately. I've been a bigger fan of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, because they took risks, and each of them felt very different from each other, and it played to the strength of the universe. Punisher and Daredevil were the backdoor piloted Punisher through Daredevil, and it worked. Was just amazing. And I don't know. I just felt that the Marvel Netflix shows, not only were they grittier, more realistic, they took more chances and risks, they felt refreshing. Whereas the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, except for Infinity War, feel really stale. They feel really bland. Black Panther was amazing, in my opinion. Infinity War was okay. Ant-Man and the Wasp was just kind of a letdown. And I'm starting to feel the fatigue with the superhero movies that I never felt watching the superhero shows. Now, granted, Daredevil was my favorite show easily. And watching Luke Cage season 2, Iron Fist season 1, they were not as good. I didn't really gel with them as much, but they were quality storytelling with quality actors, quality scenes. It was really good stuff that we got with each and every show. Granted, even Iron Fist season 1, while we all think it's trashy, it's definitely the weakest of the lot. There were some pretty good moments in Iron Fist season 1 too.
Half of whatever's on American television today.
I agree. And Iron Fist, the problem was the fact that rush production, bad showrunner,
choreography,
no clear vision. There were a couple things that kind of screwed up the production of Iron Fist that wouldn't have happened had it not been for the Netflix Marvel machine kind of just trying to rush to crank out content.
I mean, no doubt they had a great actor on their hands. I mean, look at what happened with Iron Fist in season 2. Just they had the means to make a really fantastic series.
It was a great casting once we saw what he did in Iron Fist season 2. It just took a little work. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. The shows definitely deserve a lot more respect and credit.
All right,
and it's unfortunate to see them die like this. Let's move on.
The 8 viewers, we have about like another 10 minutes to answer questions because it is getting quite late, and
it is getting late.
Viewers, but we've had like such a blast. I think this has got to be one of the best streams we've ever done. But let's breeze through these comments real quickly, and then we can do a proper closeout and plug in all of our stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll bring the shows back, but in PG-13. I hope so, but
I'd rather bring back the shows in PG-13 on Disney Plus than have them be rebooted. I would be willing to see them PG-13. Some people are like, no, they're going to butcher it. Punisher might not work so great, but you can do really quality stuff without betraying the PG-13 rating. You totally can.
There are horror movies in PG-13, you know? PG-13 works.
As long as the characters, the actors, and the writing are still solid, I don't give a crap about the gore. I can forget the gore. That's not what makes quality television. That's not what makes quality movies. Keep the casts. Keep the writing teams. Keep the shows pretty much as they are. Get rid of the R rating if you have to. I don't care. Moving on.
Sorry to keep interrupting you guys, by the way.
No, you're good.
You're all good, dude.
All right. So, off topic. Off topic, but how do you guys fit your channel art onto YouTube? It's pretty, scale down the logo to make it fit.
I don't.
Just the dimensions. Usually, the preset for the sizes, and then just shape it. And then it usually fits all together. eBay junkies unite. All right,
I'm bad at tech.
Got a couple of team members.
I'm bad at tech, so I'm not really good at. I mean, Daniel made my logo. Daniel made my new logo, and it looks considerably better. So, if you can't do it yourself, just force someone else to do it.
Yeah, he literally was just like, "Hey, make me a new logo, or Irredeemable's canceled." No, I'm just kidding.
No, you made that without me even asking you to. Don't at me there.
I'm that kind. I'm just kidding.
We might bully each other a little bit here and there, but it's all good. No worries.
Like one of the greatest people.
We're tight. Daniel's cool.
Yeah, I'm all right.
You're the best.
I've got to go. So here's another. Oh, Thundercat's got to go. So here's another question. When watching a film, where's the balance in critiquing it and or enjoying it? Ooh, fantastic question. You guys want to go ahead? So I don't.
Okay. Where is it?
Right here on the screen share. I am.
Okay. Watching film, where's the balance of critiquing and or? That's tough. Depends on the movie for me. I mean, I loved Spider-Verse. There was almost nothing to critique after sitting on it. Like there were a couple things I nitpicked here and there, but if the writing's good,
nitpicks, yeah.
It depends on what you're looking for in a movie, I think. Like, when I went into Venom, Daniel can attest to the fact that I fucking tore that movie to shreds. I was so upset with Venom. I hated it.
Oh, God. I don't like Venom either.
I ripped Venom a new...
I'm not even
say that.
Demonetized.
I already demonetized. I dropped an F-bomb. It's already gone.
Oh, okay.
PG-13. That's, you know...
Damn it! I ruined the Daredevil thing. All right, but yeah, it depends on the movie. It depends on the how it's being marketed. Like when you go into a Transformers movie, you know it's brainless and bull. Like you just kind of know what you're gonna get. But then there are other movies that you might have good expectations for. So it depends on what you're expecting and whether or not those expectations can be adjusted based on what you're looking forward to. Like for me. Right. Venom was garbage, but I was expecting something that wasn't as brainless and campy. as what we got, because marketing and the campaign and how they were talking about the movie made me think it was going to be something very different from the final product we got. Whereas Spider-Verse, for the most part, was pretty true to what it was going to be from the get-go.
Yeah.
But depending on how the expectations are subverted. Done.
And I think the problem with Venom with a lot of people is I think they wanted it to be rated R as well. Like that's one of the big deals. I enjoyed Venom. I thought it was a dope, fun movie. It wasn't great, obviously. It's like The Room. It's bad, it's good, but at the same time, there are some things that you can enjoy about it. Just like Tom Hardy's acting. Tom Hardy is just stellar in that movie. I think he's awesome.
Venom has been the most divisive superhero movie.
Yeah.
I've heard that I've seen in
Civil War
time. Yeah.
No, since Batman v Superman, Civil War wasn't that divisive.
No. I'd say Batman v Superman, really.
True.
Venom, gotta get that Venom.
Say what you will about the movie. That Eminem song is pretty whack.
It's whack. Whack is right.
Whack is the best word to describe it.
The whole movie, whack.
That could be in a good term or a negative term. So, let's see. But yeah, Thundercat, that's a really great question. For me, it's just like when you walk into a movie and you know you're a big fan of it, you got to see it from a fan standpoint and making sure you're not just brown nosing, and at the same time, you got to enjoy it. You enjoy it as it is, yet at the same time, don't lose track of what makes a really good movie, and not at the expense of everyone else. Know
what a good movie is. Know what a bad movie is.
Yeah.
Good movie, The Room. Bad movie, Avengers: Infinity War.
If I saw that, I would want to know that person, just so we can talk, I'm sorry, I do not condone unnecessary violence. Please do not do that. Don't be anyone else because their opinions. Don't do that.
The opinions of
or don't be a DGDX, okay?
Viewer discretion.
The opinions of
viewer discretion is advised. That we do have some quite over the top jokes.
The opinions of the people involved in this live stream do not reflect the Project422 Films studio. The opinions expressed by these individuals are solely their own opinions. Please make them feel guilty for their opinions in the comments below.
And as professional as I make my front up to be, I'm goofy.
You're the worst of them all. You're the worst of us all.
That is true.
Well, no, we're pretty much meme lords. Should we reveal the big joke between us, like the best joke?
The best joke? No, that's.
Or should we save that for the very end?
That might be a little too embarrassing to discuss.
No, I don't think it is, but up to you.
Well, we'll save it for later.
Okay.
Let's see. Last Gamer 64. Hey, what's up, dude? I used to make Star Wars.
Hi, Thundercat.
I wanted to keep it going. Yeah, see ya, Thundercat. Let's see. I wanted to keep it going, but they suck. Didn't have the equipment and etc. You can still keep it up if you really wanted to. But I'm moving on to gaming / talking about topics. That's cool. That's cool, Last Gamer. Let's see.
Do what you're passionate about.
Ooh, Bug's got a really good.
I know that story very well, BugCon. I just thought that would be appropriate since Daredevil had Punisher in it to have him take on a costume.
Thundercat said he will not read Irredeemable. I refuse. I want to enjoy your video. Well, I appreciate that.
Thank me, dude. I kind of lied about the title being a big spoiler, but there are definitely some hints.
Yeah, there are hints, and it's kind of
reading that comic will not spoil the movie.
Yeah, I agree, and it's kind of like in the sense of the Dark Knight. He doesn't get called the Dark Knight till the very end of the movie. And for a very good reason. They've been building up to that point, and I think that's what Irredeemable is. It's just to encapsulate whatever goes on in the movie, and that's, I think, not to pat ourselves on the back, because Stealthabotte and I did a really it was pretty tedious, even the process of finding a title for Wasp. But
we did a bang up job.
Irredeemable is a really good title.
And it applies to multiple characters
Symbolism.
too.
Yep.
There's so much deep Zack Snyderism meaning behind that
I
title.
tell you, those sleepless nights weren't for nothing.
You mean you falling asleep while I was sleepless nights?
Yes, me. That's what I said. One figure that you've been wanting for the longest time but haven't gotten.
I would have said Defender's Daredevil, but I got him. So.
Tough question, Moose. You want to get it?
What's the question? Or are we going to another question?
That you've been wanting? What's one figure that you've been wanting for the longest time but haven't gotten?
That's a hard one. Is it just like any figure you mean?
Any figure, any line.
Well, I have a few. Probably if I had to do for Marvel Legends, there's a few of those, but one of them is the Build-A-Figure Blob, because I'm a big X-Men fan, so
love X-Men.
Two figures I just got recently were figures I've been really wanting. It's the
Sabretooth. That was cool.
The Sabretooth, the Toy Biz Sabretooth, and the Archangel. The new Archangel.
Badass.
They're both great. They're both really, really good. Of course, since I'm a big, huge Spider-Man fan, the McFarlane Spidey. The McFarlane Spider-Man is a big one.
Moose is getting tired.
Yeah, sorry, been a long day.
No, that's all good, man. Yeah.
No, I've been saying it's been a long day. Went out and did stuff today. Went out, but yeah. And then for DC figures, not too many DC figures I can think of that I really want. Probably some DC Universe classics, if anything.
Those are good
that's
figures.
one. I just talked about it with friends of mine. The DC Universe Classics Tim Drake Robin. That's
good
one
list.
I really want. And then for Black Series, I'm sorry, I won't hold on. I won't take too long. Black Series, it's not really a figure that exists, but no, before I say that, I'll say Darth Maul. Darth Maul and Anakin. Darth Maul and Anakin. And then the last thing I'm going to say is either the Hot Toys Daredevil or Hot Toys because I have two Hot Toys and I love collecting Hot Toys.
Daniel, would you like to go next?
Reasonable. I would. Thank you. That's a good question. For DC, I guess the Mezco Green Arrow, that was a dope figure that I've always wanted yet. I haven't gotten. Mezco Green Arrow, if you guys haven't seen it, go check out reviews of it. It looks phenomenal. Also, the new Mafex prison, not prison, but the jail. It's sort of like the cop Joker, yet at the same time it's mixed in with pieces to form the prison scene Joker from the Dark Knight Mafex. And that's one I really want for DC. In terms of Marvel stuff, I'm trying to grow my Spider-Verse collection because I only have like a couple figures from it, as well as start my Fantastic Four. I don't really collect stuff. Again, I only collect figures that I really do require, but every now and again I look at figures that that seems dope for a collection. So probably,
Last gamer, I didn't tell you to list everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Too bad. It's our stream.
Yeah, fair point. But I think the figures that I do want, I'm eventually going to get, which are also the figures that I do require, such as the upcoming Black Order figures.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right, I gotta bang this out real fast. Let's get the obligatory ones out of the way. Hot Toys Daredevil, both Mezco Daredevils. What else? I already got the Defenders Daredevil.
I have another one. Can I say my other one?
Sure.
Yeah.
I want Hot Toy Stanley.
Oh, that's a good
yeah.
one.
Good one. Good choice.
Going back to my list of pretty much all the Daredevils. So just assume every Daredevil that's been made for Marvel Netflix Daredevil, especially the Metzko black costume Daredevil, that one specifically.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
have the Select, which is the season 2 suit. I have the Marvel Legends, which is season 1 red suit. I just need a black suit. And I have the trifecta.
Awesome.
And I do have a Matt Murdock that I can work with because I have the Defenders Daredevil.
Awesome.
And some custom
Fantastic.
Daniel. Regarding other Marvel Legends, I would love the Build-A-Figure Kingpin because I've always needed a good Kingpin. I love Ultron, the 10th anniversary. Volume 1 Drax because he's my favorite Guardian. X-Force Deadpool. The Homecoming 2-pack Iron Man, the drone one. Homecoming Spidey. I think that pretty much sums up most of the Marvel Legends wants. I've been so fortunate to get so many different Marvel Legends that I've always wanted this year. Well, 2018. I've gotten so many good ones. For DC Multiverse, I don't really have as many because I just started collecting. So probably Wonder Woman, but like the official one, like the red suit, because I have the Island Wonder Woman. And Prison Lex Luthor. I don't really need a lot of those. I'd want a TV show Flash because I love Grant Gustin's Flash.
Oh,
So
I
that's
have
pretty much
I have the regular
DC
one with the
collectibles
red
one?
symbol, and I have the one with the white symbol from the Green Arrow 2-pack that came out a few years ago.
Oh, that's a good figure.
nice.
Oh, go ahead.
Are you gonna like keep talking about that in particular, or are you changing topic?
No. I was just gonna say one more thing.
Go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say one more figure I just thought of, also from Star Wars Black Series. I would like, I would really like Star Wars Black Series R2D2. That's another one.
Nice.
Another one. And one more probably be the DC's Essentials Brainiac.
Ooh.
Good choices. Since I'm not really huge on DC, again, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor from the multiverse, maybe a Grant Gustin Flash. From Star Wars Black Series, again, not really this biggest Star Wars fan. Usually I just take those characters and I find a way to use them in my Marvel stuff. So Jaina Solo, because I'd like to use her as Quake. Young Han Solo, because he's a figure in an upcoming project that I won't disclose who, but I kind of want that for the novelty. And I think that's pretty much it for the Star Wars Black Series for me. And
Awesome.
since I'm a Transformers nut too, I might as well talk about those.
Yeah, that.
I used to be real
last
big in
game
Transformers.
For the Transformers, since I'm pretty much a movie collector mostly, I want to get that new Studio Series Prime, the one that combines with the Jetfire, which I also want. Jazz, Sideswipe. I'm trying to think of who else I'd want from the Studio Series because there's so many good Studio Series figures. Not really feeling War for Cybertron Siege. Not really feeling any Bumblebee movie. Oh, how could I forget KSI Sentry because he looks like Stealthabotte. Like he looks like my logo. So that one's a must-have for me.
Amazing.
And some more Decepticon figures. I can't really name them in particular. And Funko Pop. One more. The black suit Daredevil, Elektra, Punisher, Kingpin. All the
Amazing.
Daredevil Funko Pops. So yeah.
I don't have all the. I don't have them. I don't have them all yet, but I'm hoping to. Also, the Punisher Hot Toys would be awesome too.
Oh, true. Yeah, I kind of want that one too.
Yeah,
although I don't collect Hot Toys.
One of my comic shops that's close to me has Hot Toys, and they always get the new ones and everything. So they have like Ultron, they have some Hulks, they have the Hulkbuster, they have Daredevil, Punisher, the Spider-Man from Homecoming. I think they're getting some of the Infinity War ones pretty soon. So
Yeah.
Like I said, I bought 2 from them. I got the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 Star-Lord and
Ooh, awesome.
the Wolverine from the Wolverine.
Oh, wow, that's a good choice. But
Yeah,
yeah, Last
but
Gamer. Oh,
those
sorry.
are my 2 favorite pieces in my collection.
Awesome. Sounds good. But yeah, Last Gamer was talking about Transformers you guys own. I don't really collect Transformers. My brother does, and he's collects a few Transformers. I know Stealthabotte does for sure, and we already talked about that for a little bit. Let's see.
I like how War TV said the full outfit. Wow, dedicated. Yeah, I work for my roles.
Yeah, that was a whole $60.
Oh yeah, Party City, $60. Oh man,
Quality
best.
stuff.
That was the
Signature.
best impulse buy I've ever gone through, just for the memes.
Okay, War TV said, let me explain my original statement. I know a lot of people cared about both of their shows. The memes that came out of the cancellation were all bashing the shows, talking about the old stuff from season 1. I agree.
Agreed. And I also agree with his comment about Daredevil.
Daredevil is one of the best as far as the Marvel stuff goes. Okay, sorry, I had the caps lock on. Before season 3, I thought the Punisher was the best, but after season 3, yeah, Daredevil.
I converted him.
Let's see. This
Just
was
make a religion based on Daredevil.
Yeah, right.
To quote Bill Wirtz, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, you can make a religion out of this.
Let's see.
And I gladly will.
Lightning rounds equal questions fast. And you're far behind. Yes, we are. Last game.
Oh
this
God,
was
we are really far behind.
Central Time. What is it? What time is it for you reading it?
Well, it's 12:55 for me.
Yep. Same here. How about you, Liz? What time is it there?
For me, it's 11:54.
Okay. One of our clocks is set wrong. Oops.
Except Bumblebee. That's a great movie.
I like the first Transformers movie. I like the first Transformers movie.
The first one's okay. The first one's all right.
The first one's probably my favorite.
Second one's god awful.
Agreed.
3's good. 3's good.
And 3's okay, and then 4 is
bad.
Damn it, I hate 4. I really hate 4. I really do.
For some reason, the only good T.J. Miller movie is Deadpool.
True. No, how could you possibly forget the masterpiece that is the Emoji Movie?
Right. I can't. So good.
Quality acting from Patrick Stewart, his finest performance, I can assure you.
Yeah. I mean, they were snubbed of an Oscar.
True.
Let's see. Next, Warren said, next video, the creator problem.
Oh my God.
Guys, that's not.
That probably will happen someday. If I don't get my
channel is just gonna be dedicated to writing the wrongs of other YouTubers.
Wow, surprisingly, we made it to the bottom of the list.
We did.
All right. That's a shocker.
Scroll through them all just to make sure we answered them all, but I think we answered pretty much all of them.
That was a lot. That was insane. That was great.
Guys, this was an amazing live stream. I just want to thank you for this is an impulse live stream that I had to coax Daniel into having. And this
I was not feeling it tonight. I gotta wake up early
amazing.
Too, so this was just the pick me up of the week that I really needed after because I got a vinyl player for Christmas. Like I also had to get the Guardians soundtrack. Aside from that being the highlight of my week, this has got to be it.
This is probably the highlight of my week.
Yeah,
I had a pretty crappy week, so this is
awesome. Crappy week, but I'm glad this made it better, man.
Yeah,
it's all thanks to Moose, man.
It's all thanks to you. You brought in this crowd.
I thank you for inviting me again. Like I missed being.
Yeah, man, we love having you on. Sorry, by the way, if I kept. I apologize, by the way, if I kept cutting you guys off.
No.
I was just a little too hype, I guess.
We're all too hype. We're all cutting each other off. We're all just a bunch of a-holes just posting our opinions and our
all credits. But yeah,
this is literally a roll credit right now. It's really cool.
This has been a really dope stream.
War TV asked after party.
After party? Where do you ask that?
At the very bottom.
Oh, he did? After party? Oh, Warren, you bet. After party, I hope tomorrow, because I do get home a little bit late, but hopefully if everyone's up for it.
Sign me up.
After party, if everyone here is up for the after party, we'll do it.
Last gamer asked VC after stream or some other time. Since it is really late here, I think it's safe to say that we could do like a VC prior to the after party. Maybe. Maybe. Or maybe a VC after the after party.
It's kind of like after the after party. It's like for those who are a little crazy enough to
or we could do Google Hangouts. He said he has Google Hangouts, so that might be the best thing actually.
Cool. Yeah,
so I just think we're all emotionally, physically, mentally spent from this awesome live stream, but we will definitely have we will definitely have another stream like this before the week starts up again. This is too great. This is beautiful.
This is just catching up, you know what I mean? Like for you guys who joined the last stream where I just yeeted, I apologize for that.
And I had to talk about Infinity War for an entire hour.
Sorry, man.
It's okay. I'm a trooper. I survived.
But yeah, so thanks for sticking around. Again, for the after party, I think for the after party we might do something similar to how the Oscars do it, like right after. But tomorrow that'll be for the after party tomorrow. So right before we'll hang around in the voice chat, and then we'll do an after party stream if y'all are up for it. But that said,
I'd be game.
Yeah, so that said, thanks to Moose the Creator and Stealthabotte for joining this spectacular stream.
You're welcome.
And
thank you. Thank you for having us.
That was awesome.
But thank you for having me in all seriousness. It's been fun.
Yeah, man. I love having you guys on. These streams are literally like if I'm being honest, the best part about this channel. Like, I get to do streams with such talented individuals who have really great input on things that we get to talk about, and the ability to catch up in the new year, promising some fantastic projects ahead for hopefully each of us. It's an honor, you know, it's an honor and a privilege, as well as, again, catching up. And after the hiatus that we took and everything else, glad to talk to you guys. And yeah, so Warren, I'm excited to see that Daredevil animation with Stealthabotte. So
yeah,
excited.
Hey, I need to get my butt on recording that. It will be done, I promise.
To wrap it up, again, links to Stealthabotte and Moose the Creator's channels are in the description. Go check them out, as well as their Instagram pages. That's all I got to say. If you guys have any closing statements, go for it. And
Moose, would you like to go first?
Sure. Just want to say thanks again for having me, and I really enjoy being on streams and really enjoy talking to you guys and interacting with fans of yours and fans of mine, and it's like I said, it's always a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Stealth?
Okay. Well, this has been one of the best streams I've been on. This is probably one of the best chats we've absolutely had. This is a great start to the 2019 live stream.
Shout out to Thundercat for one of the greatest questions.
Shout out to Thundercat. Shout out to all of our viewers and all the people who pitched into this chat. This is a really, really cool chat. This was just a on-the-fly live stream, but honestly, this turned out to be one of the best pick-me-ups I could have possibly asked for after having such a bad week. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for making this awesome stream possible, and thank you guys for tuning in and being excited for the future content that we'll have in store for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeet from the ultimate Daredevil fanboy, well, ultimate Netflix Daredevil fanboy. Oh, yeah. I should probably wait. All right, Daniel, we should probably name drop the project that I'm hinting at, low key. Even though I already did.
Fire away. I'm up for it. Go for it. Just do it with the mask. You have to do the face. You have to do the face cam.
No, but I already.
No, it has to be a great reveal. A great reveal, man. Do it. End up
See,
on the
I
bank.
thought we were done with the mask because of the fact that I already showed it. But no, apparently not. I have to get all.
Okay.
I have to look good for the camera again, and that's not typically possible. Oh.
But at the same time, he's revealing something epic, you guys. And for the 4 viewers who stuck around on the ending moments of this stream, you're getting an extra treat.
You get to find out what one of my big projects will be when I return to the YouTube space. So okay, so are you presenting this to everybody? I don't know.
All right, it is.
Is it? Okay. Well, as y'all know, I'm a huge Daredevil fan, and I got the Defenders Daredevil, and it meant the world to me. It kind of opened up my eyes. Well, ironically, can't really actually see through this thing, but it's no joke. I can't see, but because of that Matt Murdock head sculpt, I was inspired to come back with a Daredevil series, but not just any Daredevil series. This Daredevil series is going to be
to pay homage.
It's going to pay homage to my favorite iteration of Daredevil, which is obviously the Netflix iteration, because this is what made me the Marvel fan that I am today. This show, these characters, this cast. And the best way I could possibly pay tribute to them is either through a series or a movie, not quite sure the format, but I'm working on a Daredevil project that builds upon Daredevil seasons 1 to 3. Woo! You could consider it as like Daredevil season 4, maybe.
Amazing.
Interesting. I like that.
I'm doing that in
kind of
stop
your own
motion.
like little continuation of the series of.
Basically, what I would do if I had the ability to hold Netflix hostage and force them to make season 4, what I think Olsen would want to do. And all the figures that I've acquired through eBay, Amazon, Five Below, I've gotten them specifically for characters. Like, since they don't make a Foggy, a Karen, a bunch of these characters don't have figures. I've been painstakingly selecting different figures across different marketplaces, eBay, Amazon, local stores, for the sake of casting them as characters in a potential Daredevil season 4 scenario.
Yep.
And I'm very fortunate to say that
conversation of it.
I'm very fortunate to say that this is going to be in part a collaboration with Project 422 Films. Hopefully, I'm going to bring in some other wonderfully talented people into this project. Still have a lot of work to do, but consider this the announcement that I am planning on coming back hopefully soon. This would mark my 5th year on YouTube. So I really want to come back for it. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm doing a Daredevil project based on the Netflix series, kind of where I would carry on with the show.
To the 4 viewers, that treat is for you.
That's
Thanks for
coming
that,
out.
Stealthabotte. We love that. That was awesome. I don't think we could have found any other a better stream ender than that. Again, thanks to.
So I'm basically making my return. Making my return, and of course, I'm coming back with my fanboy property. Sorry for interrupting, but I just felt
No, that's all good. I'm just giddy about it, and so we're announcing it.
Hell yeah!
Sounds like an awesome idea. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're doing stop motion stuff again. I can't wait to see what else you have to offer.
Thank you. Awesome. I'm very much looking forward to kind of coming back.
It's great, man.
And with that,
so am I. I think many others.
That said, with all of you guys who stayed for this late of a stream, have a good night, good morning, wherever you may reside. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all on.
Happy New Year!
Yeah, Happy New Year. Hope to see you guys on the next stream.